Welcome back, children. We are with the data visualization class. I hope you have already watched the video 2, 3, 4 properly before you stepping onto this one. The last class, what we discussed was a bar chart with multiple bars. When you run this program, you had this, isn't it? And we had given separate sections of your test. That is, I'll just take the yeah two list with test 1, test 2, and name was given, and here inside that chart you had a roll number, which is always going to be your x-axis, because when we plot multiple bars, it is very important that you should have a numerical value there. And instead of plotting or specifying roll number, we change the name with the help of this new argument called as tick label, tick underscore label, and that is how you got this one. Okay, now this was already discussed, so I am going to show you, as I promised in the last video, that if anything now new comes, I will definitely come with that. That means how to do the same thing with the data frame. That means this much of addition, plotting multiple bars with two different function can be avoided, and with one single function you can do this plotting of multiple bars using a data frame. But if you're doing with list, definitely this is the only option. That means you specify the width, and then you write one particular bar with what you want in the first bar, that is your roll number as your x and test one as your y-axis, and you put your width over there and the color and the name you want on the x-axis. The second one should be added. So this works only, what I said, only if it is a numerical value, and that with again with the arrange section, not with the list. Okay, so all these you keep in mind. Now let's move on to the next one, where you do the same thing with the data frame. So here it is, you have your same example which is converted into a data frame. See, test 1, test 2, name, roll number. I have just taken the same order, didn't change any kind of order and all. And coming over here, you have your plot. Now see with what I have accessed your plot. The previous example, if you again move back, if you can see, that was with your PLT, that is your pie plot. But here I am trying to access my plot function with DF. That is because DF also has a function, that is an built-in function called as plot, which will help us to plot a graph using a data frame. If I am not specifying other than the first two arguments, by default it will be actually showing you the line graph. Now I am not going to explain this now. I just show you one thing. If I simply write like this, and then if I see, this was your, and see how it came. I didn't specify any arguments. Okay, so you remember the first program we did with your data visualization. Now we can take it and come back, so you can see now what you have done. Roll number, everything, whatever numerical values are there, roll number, test 1, test 2, everything is coming as a line graph here. So if I move back to that particular first one, I just take it, file, open, I think visual 1, isn't it? Visual 1, and then if I open it, you remember this? See, this was the first thing I showed you. We are trying to access that using plot function. So the plot function can be accessed with the help of pyplot, also with the help of a data frame. Now if I run this, see, again you see all the numerical values have come. So I'm going to close this. We are moving on to that level of understanding where I am showing you that a data frame can have a plot function. without any arguments, automatically takes the entire values, this entire numerical values inside the data frame and plot it like a line graph. But if you want to specify any other graph, that means we just finished studying only two, scatter graph and bar graph. Now here it is with a scatter graph, isn't it? So if you wanted to specify that, you need to do what we are going to see in the next one. That means this. See what is happening now? df.plot opened. The first one, I didn't specify x equal to. If you want, you can specify x equal to. I specify the default, the roll number, okay? If I want, I can change it to name. We will see later. First, let's see with roll number. And why? Since my plan is to plot multiple bars, that means 2 or more bars in one graph, I am putting it as a list. That is, it is just converting what we did last example, that with the data frame. So, y is having a list of values, test 1, test 2. If I only want one bar, then any of these numerical values can be given there as y without a list. It is without a square bracket, just y equal to test 1. Now, why are we able to give roll number test 1, test 2 like this directly? Because you see your test 1, test 2, your name and your roll number are your columns in your data frame. And since I am plotting with df, I can access or I can directly give that names here and easily Python or your, the compiler can understand when you run the program that this is a part of this existing data frame df. Now comes the third one. So this much is clear. You have specified your x-axis and your y-axis multiple bars. Kind, a new argument, which is not required in the other graph, because when I do it with your PLT, because there we are specifying PLT.bar for specifying bar graph, PLT.scatter for specifying scatter, PLT.plot, and there you specify your line graph. Here it is plot by default for every graph with the data frame. And this third argument, it need not be the third, it can be fourth or fifth or sixth. The order is not a matter, or order is not mandatory there. It should be in the third argument. Kind equal to bar. So if I specify kind equal to bar, automatically the bar graph is going to be displayed. Otherwise, depending upon what you're giving, scatter will be displayed. And since I'm having two multiple bars, two bars, you have to specify the color. If I'm not specifying the color, also default will come. So if you wanted to specify the color should be of two kinds. So if you specify this a list, it will come like that. If you specify RR, both will come as red. So that won't give up a clear-cut image or picture. Now let's run the program. So the previous one, I hope you remember, I have closed that. Let's see whether the same thing is going to come or not. Yes, see, a roll number, this side your test and multiple bars. The same thing which we just did with our list is done with the data frame with a better way, isn't it? Or we don't have to have, we need not have two function calls for bar graph. And that is the peculiarity of this. So let's see the program once again, keeping this in mind. This is it. Let's take it and put it here so you have a better idea of about what we have just done. Yeah, that's it. Let's keep it here. See, x-axis is roll number, y-axis you have test 1, test 2. So the kind of values automatically specified, which is having this range of values which is found in test 1 and test 2. Kind is bar, color is RG. Now let's avoid this, okay, and run. A default, see, blue and orange shade there, that is your default color. And what if I am running, I just comment this, we may not have that every time. What if I am putting that color equal to R here, simple. See, that gives you a very odd picture, right? That is why I said we need to give it as a list. So if you give it as a list, depending upon what color you want, red and green is our favorite, so we'll give that. That's how it is coming. Okay, so kind of this one is clear. If I change that to and run the program. So sorry. That is the reason is we can't have it here because I have plotted multiple bars. You should be changing that to one single bar if you specify it as skater. So let's not change this because I need this program to be saved for you to get the note. So you try that with one single y value and that will work. Skater charts, okay, no, otherwise the old methodology of skater with multiple skatering can be done. So that is why the skater didn't work over here. And now one more argument. So basically our idea was to specify your bar graphs. Now let's see, I have to close my list here. Now this was a multiple bar, isn't it? Now we have added a new argument called as stacked equal to true. What is stack? It comes as stacks, the stack of bread, stack of plates, like that. So now this becomes a stack values. Now let's run the program, the same thing. And yes, a mistake was made. So I have to close this with this. And then I have to run the program. This is the last kind of the bar graph you have. You have simple normal bar graph, then you have multiple bar graphs, and now you have your stacked bar graph. Stacked bar graph will stack one on another. That means that in the same bar itself, you will see multiple colors showing the values. Test 1 and test 2. So if you want, you can change the this one here. 1 minute. Okay, I just close this once and then I run the program once again. Yeah, this is it. This is our program. Now see what I have done. Your test 1 is 45, see. So it is plotted here somewhere after 40, 45. And your test 2 you have something like 56, isn't it? So that is taken from there and that is plotted up. See, that is why it is exceeding that place. So it becomes a different style of a graph where it is plotting one on another. So that is your stacked one. Now if I remove this, that becomes your old style. So if this is done without a data frame, it requires lot of other kind of specifications. But if it is with a data frame, you just need to write stacked equal to true. You see the difference in the y-axis values here. So when you specify stacked equal to true, what is happening? Again, I'll just show you. The y-axis values, it was still 60 earlier, now it has changed, so it is just plotting one over the other. So that 56, the value of your test 1, which you can see over here, it is coming after specifying your 45. Understood? No, so it's not that you have something in the behind this. No, it starts from here, 56. That is why it is coming like this way. You can see this one, roll number 4, it is having this one 30. See, 30. So it's specified 30, and then you have test 1 is here, this one, and then you have 15. Correct? Yeah, so it came like that. See, just float it like that way. So you understand very clearly how is it coming, and the ability to stack it properly. Need not be worried about the graph specification or visualization. You just have to write here stacked equal to true. So whether it comes in any other manner or not, that we can specify only using your other aspects. But using data frame, it is simple. Just have to put the argument stacked equal to true. So what did you learn? That means a data frame can have a plot function. Can have without, or the plot function can be executed without any arguments, automatically what will come? A line graph will come. And then you can have multiple bars or scatter. I'll just try the other one also, okay, before I because I told you kind equal to, let me just see, because I tried this, and since I'm going to finish off, I thought I'll just show you the scatter also. So in scatter and all, no stacked and all is there, okay. Okay, see, that's what I told you earlier, okay, because I thought otherwise some people will have doubt. So scatter will work like this, otherwise the old method. Now I'm back with my old one. So this was introduced basically for our bar graph. Yes, back with the normal kind. Everything back here, I assume. I'll just run and see whether it works again without any mistake. Yes, that's it. So you learned how to plot multiple bars using data frame, or you learn once again to plot stacked bar using data frame. So we started with simple example. Now we reach data frame, and the plotting now goes with data frame. Basically, after completing this particular section of different charts, you will be always connecting your data frame and your visualizations. That means your data visualization is basically going to be connected with your data frame only. Then we will see how to take it from your SQL, put it into your data frame, and then give a visualization effect on it. So that's it. With one video, we learned how to plot using a data frame. We will continue this in the next video. So thank you.